Over 2 million Syrians who had fled their homes during their country's war have returned since the ouster of Bashar al-Assad, UN Refugee Agency Chief Filippo Grandi said Thursday. Over 2 million Syrian refugees and displaced have returned home since December, Grandi wrote on X during a visit to neighbouring Lebanon, which hosts about 1.5 million Syrian refugees, according to official estimates. The Syrian civil war, which erupted in 2011 with Assad's brutal repression of anti-government protests, displaced half of the population internally or abroad. But Assad's December 8th ouster at the hands of Islamist forces sparked hopes of return. Earlier this month, UNHCR estimated that up to 1.5 million Syrians from abroad and 2 million internally displaced persons may return by the end of 2025.
It was an opportunity, as the Deputy Prime Minister just said, for me to see how a country that was going through yet again such an incredible ordeal was also one of the countries hosting the largest numbers of refugees in the world. So if there was one moment in which I could even more fully appreciate what challenge this presence of many Syrian refugees and Palestinian refugees, what challenge this has represented for Lebanon, it was that moment when I came here at the peak, in fact, of that conflict. And I came back again last January, and I came here on my way to Syria, where I had my first meetings with the new authorities in Damascus. And from that very early moment, my colleagues, UNHRC colleagues, and myself have engaged the Syrian authorities in an important discussion on how to step up work so that people can go back to Syria and stay there and have a decent life back in their country and a safe life back in their country. I say this because this, my third visit, this is really the focus. When I came in January, the new Lebanese government was not yet in place. Since then, we have done very good work together with the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Social Affairs, and many others in this group of coordination. And I want to commend the government, Deputy Prime Minister referred to that, for having adopted a policy on the return situation, which I can tell you my organization, UNHCR, will support in every way we can. And I'm very pleased that with this government we have started a very constructive discussion on how to translate the policy into a very practical operation that will allow many refugees, as many as possible, as the Deputy Prime Minister said, to go back to Syria. And I have to tell you, we have been here, as you all know, for a long time, not only here, but in the whole region. Many refugees want to go back. But, you know, there are many challenges. One is how to help them physically go back, and then how to help them in their places of origin in Syria. And this is really the purpose of my mission. You know, tomorrow, the 20th of June, is a very symbolic day for my organization. We call it the World Refugee Day. And I chose to be in Syria on that day, to be in a place where we have the potential to have the largest refugee crisis in the world, the Syrian refugee crisis, turned around, and millions of people stop being refugees because they go back home. This is not something that will happen from one day to the other. It is complex, but we have to work in that direction, and that will be my message tomorrow from Damascus. I will be traveling tomorrow morning. And I have to tell you, I realize that I'm coming here at a time of renewed tensions and uncertainty in the region with the war between Israel and Iran. I even thought Is it a good idea to go at this point? And then I said, why not? This is, in a world of crisis, this is one example where we can turn it around. But we have to work on this very hard. And I can tell you, I am sure that the government and UNHCR are hand in hand, very much ready to do that work. Here, before I conclude, I want to make one appeal. I want to make an appeal to the international community. Lebanon and UNHCR and Syria cannot do this alone. They need help from the international community. Syria, I know Syria very well. I've been many, many times. Is a country that is on its knees. It needs reconstruction of infrastructure, of public services, of the economy, of their security system. There is goodwill there, in spite of all the challenges, but we need international help. I am happy that the US President has announced that sanctions will be lifted. This is a major step in the right direction, in my opinion. I hope that now it will be followed, since there is a space, by substantive investments in infrastructure, in creating jobs, the economy, in security as well, because the country needs security, structured security apparatus. So these are really the priorities that are needed in Syria, because what we can do here, and we will do, to help people financially, logistically, to go back, what UNHCR and the rest of the UN can do in Syria for the first few months, that needs to be long-term. We need to allow people to stay there and not move again, because that will be catastrophic for everybody. So full appreciation for what Lebanon has done and continues to do for the people that are hosted here in spite of the challenges, but also a strong appeal from all our partners in Europe, in the Gulf, in the international financial institutions to help us do the work in Syria. It is a rare opportunity in this world of crisis. Let's make it possible.